Help wanted. The real reason finding a job seems impossible. I think I'm gonna give my take on it. I think it's hard to find a job because people are trying to find jobs that pay a lot off rip. That's what I think. And then also people lie on their resumes. But then I feel like people don't want to do like, how do I word this? People don't have the qualifications for it, but it's like people want to get the pay rate of like a person who like took a bunch of years in college, and they want to get that same pay without having that problem, like that same qualification. Maybe that's what it is. Because I realized that I always notice people being like, I can't find a job. And I'll be like, bro, did you look hard enough? Like, you know how, like, I feel like you just gotta answer the questions the right way and shit. Name too long, 13. Hey, at least your name is not actually that long. Let's see.
According to the newest data,
Diache, 17 minutes. Well, time to speed it up.
from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, there are 8.5 million jobs available throughout the United States, with the White House announcing that the unemployment rate has been under 4% for 27 months in a row, tied for the longest stretch in 70 years. And while the economy and labor market may seem good on paper, I want to help bridge the gap between headlines like this and the reality that many of us are facing.
You said a sewer worker or a garbage man?
Since 1942,
yeah,
the
they
US
do
Bureau
pay
of
good
Labor
money.
Statistics conducts a nationwide survey every month called the CPS, or Current Population Survey. This survey is sent to 60,000 American households, inquiring about their labor force activities or non-labor force activities. This information then classifies the individuals as employed, unemployed, or not participating in the labor force. Employment is defined as anyone working during the duration of the survey. This includes all part-time, as well as regular full-time or year-round employment. But when it is practically applied, what constitutes as employed is not what many of us would think. A 16-year-old without a job that does small tasks for the parent's business for 15 hours a week without any sort of pay is considered employed. A stay-at-home parent that helps with their significant other's paperwork for the business on weekends without any form of compensation is considered employed. A 35-year-old helping at an ice cream shop for 1 hour a week making $1 is considered employed. All the exact same way someone working 40 hours a week making 6 figures is considered employed.
I'm not happy, Bob. Not happy.
And while those that are considered unpaid workers make up a very small portion of the employment numbers, it really begins to provide some discrepancies between realistic employment and analytical employment. Part-time, however, is measured under 2 conditions: those that involuntarily needed a part-time job due to economic reasons, and those that voluntarily got a part-time job. But when you look at the chart of what is defined as involuntary, you once again see a discrepancy between real life and the data. Having to get a part-time job because daycare now costs 30% more than it did in 2019, or having to come out of retirement because essential goods such as groceries are now 24% more expensive than they were in 2020, isn't seen as issues within the economy, however just regular employment. Unemployment is defined as individuals who do not have a job, but have actively looked for one within the last 4 weeks. Actively looking can be as simple as contacting an employer directly or having a job interview, a school or university employment center, or submitting resumes and filling out applications. And while unemployment is often the prioritized statistic, I believe we need to put just as much focus into those not considered in the labor force. Defined as individuals who do not have a job and are not looking for one. This is often retirees, students, individuals under the age of 16, or those with family matters that make them unable to work. It also includes individuals that do want a job and are eligible, however they have not actively participated in looking for a job within.
But I feel like you could finesse this system, cause like motherfuckers be like, they haven't found a job and they've been looking for a job for 4 weeks. Then would you keep getting unemployment? Do you get unemployment checks for actively looking for work and never getting a job, and then you keep getting unemployment? Like, do you get money? Like, if you're, like, actively looking? But then my question is, like, what if you just finesse yourself to always fail? Like, you could just constantly tell the system, hey, yeah, I'm actively looking for work and nobody is hiring me. Keep giving me unemployment money. But then in all my job applications, I'm like, yo, my availability is 1 day out of the week. I answered all the questions terribly. Like, oh, what makes you a good worker? I'm not a good worker. I suck at working. It's kind of like, can you kind of do that? And then, I don't fucking know. Unless you're a student. I helped my dad for a while, and that shit never ended up, and he never ended up getting it? What do you mean? Oh, you helped your dad for this shit, and he never ended up getting it. Bro, it's weird. I don't know how the system works in this.
Pick a job. Also including those that are marginally attached to the labor force, defined as those that want a job, have participated in looking for a job within 12 months, just not within the last 4 weeks. And lastly, you have discouraged workers, which are individuals that have given up searching for a job due to feeling overqualified, underqualified, too old, too young, or that there just aren't any jobs available. When we measure unemployment, there are 6 different ways to do so. What is most commonly discussed and considered the headline unemployment rate is U3, which only includes those that have
total unemployed as a percent of the civilian labor force.
actively look for a job within 4 weeks, resulting in 6.5 million individuals unemployed, or an unemployment rate of 3.9%. But in times of economic uncertainty, the better form of measurement is actually U6, or the underemployment rate, which accounts for those that are unemployed, involuntarily needed a part-time job, those that wish to be in the labor force but have not participated in the last 4 weeks, and those that are marginally attached as well as discouraged. When you calculate it that way, there's 18.5 million individuals underemployed, or an underemployment rate of 7.4%, projected to be 7.6% by the end of the quarter. And as we begin to look at the data in a different manner, there's still a blatantly obvious factor that must be addressed. Are the jobs available actually real? Before we dive into more of today's current job market, if this video has provided value to you and you would like to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribed if you haven't already done so.
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like some of the jobs are not real. Because, I mean, one thing I do notice from, like, I guess, places that I go to, this is my personal experience, a lot of jobs that I end up going to are very understaffed. Every time I go someplace, they're understaffed. All the time. And then I feel like it's a thing that they do personally because the people or the higher-ups in the job want the hours. And they don't want to hire anybody else because then it's going to make them lose hours and then they're going to lose money. You said, what about the OnlyFans girls? I have no clue. The OnlyFans girls, they're entrepreneurs. They're doing their own thing. You said there's a lot of fake jobs.
Thank you so much for your support. What defines an available job? Very similar to how labor participation is calculated, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics conducts a job openings and labor turnover survey, otherwise known as JOLTS, by collecting monthly data from a sample of 21,000 business establishments, uncovering openings, new hires, and job separations. But unlike the detail that the personal labor participation is surveyed, JOLTS is far more lenient, with the business establishments having until the very last day of the month to be able to answer their survey, with a job opening being defined as a specific position existing along with work available for that position, either full-time or part-time. The job could start within 30 days, and the employer is actively recruiting outside workers. When you look at the overall complexities of the personal labor participation survey, and you compare that to JOLTS, it becomes apparent that the overall information may not be as accurate as one would hope, with the Bureau of Labor Statistics even claiming it has 90% confidence in the data. And at the end of the day, it is just a survey, and 90% confidence in most other instances is seen as pretty good. But when this is defining the benchmark number of the American labor force...
You said, and most OnlyFans girls aren't making bread. That's true. That's true. As much as you think OnlyFans girls are making bread, not all of them. You know why? Because you gotta keep into consideration this. There's a lot of girls doing this OnlyFans shit. And then here's another thing you gotta take into consideration. There's always gonna be somebody hotter than you. So if you're doing OnlyFans, you gonna have to do something that's gonna definitely... You're gonna have to hit something that's gonna be in a niche market, and you're gonna have to differentiate yourself. It's the same thing as streaming. Streaming, a lot of people hop into the streaming landscape thinking, oh, they gonna be the next Kai Cenat off rip. No, the fuck you not. You probably not, bro, because there's so many other people trying to do the exact same shit, and then they get the exact same equipment that every other streamer has. Oh, I'm gonna get a Blue Yeti microphone. I'm gonna get a fucking green screen Elgato backdrop. I'm gonna get a fucking Stream Deck, like the same shit. And then it's like, you don't differentiate yourself from everybody else. So then it's kind of like, why would a person watch you if there's 100,000 other yous on Twitch? Time for OnlyFans girls to start doing tentacle porn. I mean, hey, you know what the craziest thing is that there's a market for that. I wouldn't be surprised that if a girl was to do an OnlyFans thing with tentacle hentai porn, somebody gonna buy it. Somebody gonna buy it. There's a freak out there. There's freaks out there. They'll be like, hey, I'm into that shit. I want to see all their whole stuff. Pause on that shit. Hold on. I need that sound effect. And it's gonna get leaked. True. That's another thing girls gotta remember. That shit is definitely gonna get leaked. Oh my god, I have 2 Steam Deck sound effects happening. Hold on. Does it just sound like one now, chat? I feel like I had 2 of them playing at the same time. Now it's 1. Okay. You also have NSFW artists that do commissions. Oh yeah, of course. They make bread off that. Some of them be eating feces for views. I mean, I wouldn't go that shameless. Like eating poop.
It can begin to hint at some discrepancies between reality and what is being shown on the data. And this brings us to the point of, why would some employers consider creating fake jobs? Ghost jobs are defined as jobs that have no intention to be filled or have previously been filled, just not removed. Clarify Capital and you...
Yo, I noticed that. Yo, you know what website I feel like does that shit OD? Indeed. Indeed does that shit like crazy, where like you would see a job listing and you
Finally
would
made it
send an
back from the
application, you would never
mountains.
hear from that
I'm
shit.
back in internet area.
Bro.
Anyways, how's everyone and this bully streamer doing so far today? Yeah,
Bully?
I didn't forget what your rude ass said to me last night.
Hell yeah,
Smash.
bro. Hell yeah, you were praying on my downfall. I was like, hey man, Lucky Noah, I hope a pebble gets in your shoe, and then you kind of like slip in the rocks up there or something.
New York-based business loan provider.
Link it in too,
surveyed
yeah.
1,000 hiring managers. It uncovered that
Thank you for the
70%
biddies.
positions open for more than half a year. 40% of managers list jobs they are not actively trying to fill to portray that the company as growing, and an additional 34% of managers state that they use the job opening as a way to inspire the overworked staff that help was going to come. With
Yo, I also hate job listings that never put what they gonna pay you. It just be like, you need this and this. And then it's like no information about the pay. I'm like, no, bitch, put the information about the pay. And it's like, I don't understand why jobs feel like it's rude when you're asking how much money you're getting paid. Like, bitch, that's the reason I'm there. I'm not there to look at your fucking ugly face. You think I give a fuck about this corporation? I'm here to survive. Tell me how much you gonna pay me.
Got a London-based career resources company discovering a massive 1.7 million potential ghost job openings on LinkedIn alone, just in the
LinkedIn,
US.
yup.
However, there is an even larger reason why companies may be incentivized to use ghost jobs. Many established businesses will create what is called the cost of vacancy, which is the cost of having a job opening available, calculated as average daily value times average time to hire. For example, if there is a position available for $60,000 and the position generates the company $120,000 every year, or $461.53 for every working day, and it takes 35 days to fill that position, that time costs the company $16,153. And when you play that at scale, that can be a very pricey tab. But this only becomes relevant when the company now needs that.
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Oh, that's a very pricey tab to Bill Gates. That's a billionaire, bro. That shit's not even scratching. That's not even denting. That's not even...
a position to be filled, which could potentially
Bro,
incentivize
he's
them
a
to engage us altogether
multi-billionaire.
and artificially
Like, that
create their
money
own
ain't gonna
supply
do
and
shit to
demand
his
and
bank
dictate
account,
their own
bro.
wages without any aspects of the
That
free
shit
market.
tickling
When
his
you
bank
create multiple
account.
job openings that are not intended to be filled, you now have access to massive amounts of data from those applicants. This is especially relevant for companies with high attrition rates. When you look at the top 10 companies with the highest turnover, you can see it's absolutely being dominated by the tech industry, one of the most turbulent industries in the market right now. And with these massive layoffs, decreased cost, it's also forcing the already skeleton crews to be even more efficient and now to need less individuals.
I didn't even know that tech companies had high turnover rates. That's sad. I thought like working in tech companies was fire. They have a high turnover rate. That means that motherfuckers get hired and they fucking quit like in a month or two.
But whenever the time comes that they may need to create more supply, well, they already have a massive
Or they get laid
amount of
off.
database to be able to pull individuals to meet their needs. But this time, the business is able to dictate the wage.
Replaced
and
by
not maybe what
AI?
the market for the actual
True.
skilled labor could be. Which gets us into the conversation of wages. When it is stated that there's 8.5 million jobs available, it is important to remember that not each and every one of those has enough hours and or resources to be able to afford the cost of living.
That's
First,
true.
It is important to understand that more available jobs are becoming part-time, sharing many similarities with the Great Recession in 2008, as part-time jobs are on trend to surpass full-time positions. Since 1984, when adjusted for inflation with 2022 numbers, the median hourly wage is $18.12, only $2.41 more than this time 40 years ago, which is still not necessarily the most accurate representation, as we're still missing 2 years of median wages adjusted for inflation. And I don't even believe that the CPI is necessarily the most accurate representation of real inflation, as we're missing many key data points. But when you zoom out and you look at 8.5 million jobs available, and then you realize, well, there might not actually be that many jobs available.
Yup.
And then you zoom out a little bit further and you see, well, the majority of those jobs are actually becoming part-time positions.
Yup.
And then you zoom out a little bit
Part-time, seasonal, like we really don't even know. Part-time or seasonal.
further and you see, well, there's 6.5 million individuals competing for jobs that are only unemployed, when there's actually 18.5 million individuals competing for these limited jobs. And then you zoom out even further and you realize the wages that those specific jobs are actually affording when it comes to the cost of living isn't what it needs to be. The competition becomes incredibly high. It really narrows the job market, which creates an...
Yo, I think I talked about this already before with chat. I hate nothing more than group interviews. Group interviews, I think I did in my life one group interview, and in my head I was like, I'm never doing this shit again. Group interviews is like a bunch of pick-me motherfuckers, bro. And I get it. It's because they want to get hired. But in group interviews, I don't like it because there's too much pick-me motherfuckers in there, bro. You already know, like, there's like the manager goes up there. I was in a table with like 8, 9 other people. They asking everybody questions, like one at a time, going around the table. And you already know the first person be like, what's one of your qualities? I'm a good worker. All right, I'm a good worker. Now let's go down to the next person. What is your quality? I'm a good worker and
I wake up on time.
That motherfucker's already trying to dunk on the first person. All right, now we're going to the next person. Who's the third person?
I'm a good worker, I wake up on time, and I'm efficient.
Now, you see it now, this motherfucker's trying to like be like, pick me, pick me. They keep on like upping the stakes and shit, and I hate it. You said I got laughed at for being respectful and answering only the main questions. What, in a group interview? I just don't like them, bro. You said I never done one of those? It sucks, man. I done like one in my life, and I didn't like it.
Even higher dependency on the application process. Dependency in AI software. A survey done in 2023 stated that 98.8% of Fortune 500 companies use ATS, or application tracking systems. ATS screen and filter resumes to optimize and discover the best candidate for the available position. In its pursuit of efficiency and keyword optimization, 75% of applications are never seen by actual humans. HR tech journalist J.R. Johnson.
I believe that. I believe that. Yo, I remember, especially when it was like back in the day. Remember when you had to like physically walk into stores and hand in paper applications? Like, remember when we had to actually fill out applications, walk into the store and say, is the manager in here? Oh, here's my paper right here. Yeah, I'm looking to work for this job. Yeah, I want to know if there's any positions available. If anything, can you please contact me? Shit like that. Bro, you said I'm not that old, bro. Yo, and the worst part about that is it's true. 75% of job applications, they never see them shits. I used to remember when I used to work in Dunkin' Donuts way back in the day. People used to walk into the store all the time and hand me applications. Bro, I used to have an application, stacks of applications, and all I did was just like pass them off to my manager, and the way my manager just takes them, and I could just tell by the way he grabs those applications, I'm like, he ain't looking at them shits. He's not looking at them shits, bro.
States that 88% of employees believe that ATS.
But one thing you gotta do though is if you really do want that job, you gotta be annoying. You gotta be persistently annoying. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. You gotta do shit like if you did like a written application and you handed in that application the day before and you spoke to the manager, the day after, call the store, and then when you call the store, you be like, hey, it is obviously if you got the manager's name because you met her beforehand, you could be like, yo, is Sherry in today? And they'd be like, yeah, Sherry's in today. I'd be like, hey, yeah, I just wanted to know how the application process is going because you know, I really do want to work there and I want to know. Sometimes, you know, some managers could see that and they'd be like, hey, you know what? This guy really does want to work. Maybe I'll look at the application and probably give him a chance, you know? Sometimes it works.
Screens out the quality applications with applicable skill sets because their applications are not best suited for the ATS software. With the completion of the hiring process now hitting a record high.
Also, follow-up emails. Yeah, that's good too.
Of 2 to 4 interviews. And while the ATS is designed to remove human bias, its sole intention is still to provide whatever the employer needs. So if the employer has a position and they want to fill it with a college graduate, but they don't want anyone that has a master's degree, well, everyone that has a master's degree that applied, it's automatically just removed, leaving many individuals that feel qualified, if not overqualified for a position, to not only just never receive a call or any sort of notice back, but to not even have their resume looked at. Not to mention, all of this has allowed the application process to be far faster and far easier. But what that's caused is not only you to compete with hundreds of individuals for the same position, but thousands of individuals for the same position. Bringing us to requirements do not match skill sets or entry-level opportunities. A 2017 study by researchers at the Harvard Business School reported that 60% of employers rejected otherwise qualified candidates because they did not have a college diploma. Not to mention that in 2015, 67% of production supervisor roles required a college degree, even though only 60%.
No, but then here's the dumb part, right? About jobs. A lot of these jobs are asking for college degrees, and like anybody could do those positions. That's what I don't like. There's jobs where I'm like, yo, anybody could do this job. And then they're like, hey man, if you don't got a bachelor's, you can't do it. And I'm like, cap, you could literally just teach a person this shit. Like literally pull them to the side, give them like hands-on training for like 2 weeks. Then after that, go into the field, you know, make sure that they're doing everything right, check on them from time to time, and they're gonna get the rhythm of shit. But I don't know, man. Jobs, they just be denying people, and then they're like, hey, they don't got a college degree. And I'm like, do you really need a college degree for this job, though?
The main thing that really gripes me is that some jobs will want you to have experience in the position you're applying for.
And
But
the only
how
way
the
you could
fuck
get
am I
exactly
supposed to get experience
Yup,
if I'm trying to get experience in the first place?
Yeah, that's the part where I don't know what to do in that part. I'd be like, okay, so if you want me to get experience, and oh, you know what they want you to do? They want you to volunteer, and I hate that shit because volunteering, I don't think you get paid for volunteering. So they want you to go in there and get experience, but they want you either got to volunteer or you got to get an internship. They want you to get the experience and not get paid for it. Like, I don't know. I feel like some do pay you, but then there's some that don't pay you. You said me when they ask for forklift experience. Unpaid internships are a scam. They are a scam, bro. It's like, bro, they're forcing you to do a fucking labor and then they're not paying you for it. And then they try to tell you, oh, but you're getting experience. Bitch, at least give me money for it too. Like, what the fuck?
16% of employed supervisors had one. However, this works for the contrary as well, with some employers overlooking college graduates because they don't have the many years of experience needed. Because they were getting a college
You say even my advisors tell me not to do?
degree,
Yeah, it's
You
bullshit.
might actually be seen as a higher risk because you have a higher likelihood of wanting more money, you have a higher likelihood of wanting more benefits, and you have a higher likelihood of knowing where the company...
Wait, what did he say?
Some employers overlooking college graduates because they don't have the many years of experience needed because they were getting a college degree.
Exactly. They don't have the years of experience because they use those years to get the fucking college degree so then they could get the jobs that they want. Stupid. It's crazy.
Or if you have a graduate's degree, you might actually be seen as a higher risk.
That's crazy. If your education is higher and you have a higher degree, companies will look at you as a risk because you're going to demand more money for the time. Bro, if I put the time and effort to get this stupid ass fucking paper diploma and now you're getting mad at me because I'm demanding more money for all the trials and tribulations that I had to go through to get that diploma, it's crazy.
Because you have a higher likelihood of wanting more money, you have a higher likelihood of wanting more benefits, and you have a higher likelihood of knowing where the company should go instead of where they want to go. And I really think this is due to the fact that college just prioritizes the end.
That's insane. So, hey, man, if you got a college degree, you're a higher risk. I'm not even going to hire you because you're just going to want more money from me. That's insane. So then it's kind of like, then what mentality are you supposed to go into the world with? Should I get a college degree? Should I not? I don't know, man.
The degree that you get at the end. It's teaching you such outdated information that it doesn't allow you to have those skill sets that are applicable for the modern job market for you to be able to survive or thrive in it. Now, to just show you how inverse every single thing is, I want you to watch what Jared Bernstein, former chief economist and economic policy advisor to the vice president of the United States, had to say about why the government prints money.
The U.S. government can't go bankrupt because we can print our own money.
Like you said, they print the dollar. So why does the government even borrow?
Well, again, some of this stuff gets some.
Did I just hear that correctly? Did they just say, hey, we could just print money?
So if you want to succeed in life, don't go to college. Now it makes sense why most successful people don't go to college.
Kind of true. But hey, if you're in college right now and you already got a bunch of credits, hey man, you might as well just finish it. Just go to the finish line. Don't listen to me. But
some jobs also will not hire you if they believe that you are overqualified because they think that you might leave as soon as you get a better job offer.
Oh, of course. As you should. Why shouldn't you? It's like jobs want you to suffer. Jobs get mad if you want to better yourself. Jobs want you to stay stagnant. They don't want you to move up. They want you to stay there and suffer.
Some of the language that some of the language and concepts are just confusing. I mean, the government definitely prints money, and it definitely lends that money, which is why the government definitely prints money, and then it.
But then what I was gonna say earlier is that he said that we could never go bankrupt because we could just print more money. And then the guy asked him, so then why the fuck do you borrow money from people if you could just print more money? Just pay them. Instead, they borrow money. You said, ain't we in debt? But I know, but it's weird that he just said that we could never go bankrupt because we could just print more money. Bro, what?
Lends that money by selling bonds. Is that what they do? They sell bonds. Yeah, they sell bonds, right? Because they sell bonds and people buy the bonds and lend them the money. Yeah. So a lot of times, at least to my ear with MMT, the language and the concepts can be kind of unnecessarily confusing, but there is no question that the government prints money and then it uses that money
that's where I have to argue. Even if you are in college getting a degree, the burden is on you to manage the resources your college provides you.
True.
As a business students, we have associations/clubs that advisors tell us to get into them that have direct connections to businesses.
Yes,
These clubs bring you roles you can put on resumes that make you look like you actually did something while getting.
That's true. That's true. While getting an education, unfortunately, not a lot of college kids are doing this. That's true. There are a lot of programs in college where it's kind of like, depending on the, I guess, the degree that you're trying to get, you can like stack more things onto it that are like related to that field. I think like, you know, clubs, like you were mentioning, and then other like miscellaneous activities that you could just do in the school, maybe scholarships. I don't know, bro. And then you could just make your resume look better because you were involved with, like, you know, certain clubs and groups. And then there's going to be, from there, that's where you do networking too. And then you could also get like references. Because jobs, I don't understand why jobs do that too. Hey man, you better give us 3 references and they better not be family members. Like, are you serious? If we print more money, we lose the value of the dollar. And then our debt will go even higher. But we $1 trillion in debt with China. So what do? That's not my job. That's not my job.
Yeah, I guess I'm just, I can't really talk. I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking about. Like, because it's like the government clearly prints money. It does it all the time, and it clearly borrows. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this debt and deficit conversation. So I don't think there's anything confusing there.
Not to mention AI has already displaced 14% of jobs, that 4.5% of American jobs are outsourced each and every year, that many baby boomers are beginning to retire, shrinking the labor participation rate, which actually makes unemployment look better, and that many baby boomers and Gen X are actually staying in the labor force much longer because their retirement plans just got absolutely decimated in the past couple of years. And then you look at Gen Zs, they're actually the highest entrepreneurial generation than ever before.
True. That's true. And then now I'm starting to think to myself, right? They said Gen Z is now like the highest entrepreneurial generation that's coming out. What's going to happen to jobs in the future in terms of like workforce? You know, people actually going to work in those jobs. If everybody's trying to become an entrepreneur, what's going to happen with like other businesses and shit? Like, you know, people trying to hire, because Generation Z is definitely the generation that doesn't tolerate bullshit. If they go into a job and they feel the energy is off, they will quit the same day. They will not fucking stay. Like how a lot of us, like older heads, will probably just like bite the bullet and say, all right, fuck it, it's a bad day. Nah, Gen Z will be like, I'm getting the fuck out of here today. They're gonna have to force me. Guess we can start making robots. Shit's gonna collapse. Not all startups succeed though. That's true. Cause some motherfuckers don't know how to cater to an audience. It's true. Drop shippers and Temu scammer generation. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I was looking into drop shipping a little while back, a couple months back, and I'm like, that's a cool market, but I feel like it's super saturated as well, because it's like everybody's trying to compete with each other, trying to like make advertisements to sell shit so then they can make a profit because drop shipping, I feel like it's a cool thing to look into, but it gets a little complicated because you really have to like be good at editing advertisements and then just have a good eye into advertising shit. Crazy switch, but Phantom just got arrested. No! He was on the fucking Dominican Day Parade. Also, shout out to my fucking Dominicans in the chat, bro. Hold up, man. Hold on. He got arrested? Nah, bro. Not on Dominican Day. NYPD arrested Phantom driver Walton and will apparently be taking his Lambo?
Oh, nah, Muddy. Oh, nah, this shit bad, bro.
This shit bad.
Shit, I should come to break. Oh my fucking god, bro. Oh my fucking god, bro.
Damn, 6 stars? Get the fuck out of there.
No way, bro. Oh, bro.
Nah, bro. Yo, man, fuck NYPD, bro. Damn, they arrested. Yeah. Oh my god. Phantom right here. But that's his driver. Come on, man. Here's another one. That's what you get for stealing food? That wasn't even Phantom. Let me see.
Oh, hell no. No way they on us.
Yeah.
You know what I hate about NYPD? If you have a nice car, I realize that. If your car looks nice, they'll literally just start blaring their sirens and they gonna pull you over just to start interrogating you. Why you got a nice car for? I'm like, man, did I break any laws? I didn't. Like, you just stopping me because my car is nice.
They know. Yes, they are.
Oh, fuck no.
Let me try to sit down.
Why you got his?
Damn. Oh, and I remember, bro. They had Dominican bitches in the car too, and they were sitting on the dude's lap. Nah, they probably had a valid reason to stop them. The cops probably saw the girl sitting on the dude's lap in the car, cause you know when you're in a car and you're driving, everybody's supposed to be seated. If a police officer sees you in a car and then there's like more than the required amount of passengers in a vehicle and they're not like really sitting down, that's a hazard, and you don't got your seatbelt on. Oh fuck.
Gun out.
Cause I heard the girls in the car saying, "Oh, let me sit down, let me sit down." You see?
Nah, get the cam on this.
Nah, put the camera on
Get the
that.
cam on this, bro.
Bro, guns drawn? Nah, bro, blicky drawn? What the fuck is going? Nah, dude, that would have pissed me off. Why you got the gun drawn?
Out of the car.
Why the gun out?
Let me see. Let me see my
Why
phone.
you got this gun out?
Nah, they wildin'.
Why you got that gun?
Why you got the gun out? Oh my god, I hate these motherfuckers. I hate NYPD, bro. I can't stand NYPD. Why the fuck he has his gun out? There's no reason why you should be approaching any vehicle with the blicky in broad daylight with the blicky just out. That's near my old house. What the fuck? That's crazy. That shit low-key got me mad because I'm like, you should not even be pointing a gun at people. That shit is weird. Like, there's no reason. And then he's looking at them through the windshield. Unless the windshields was OD tinted and then they can't look through it, I get it. But the blicky in public, wild. Okay, what the fuck is, boop. That's what the fuck I'm looking at. Legit GTA cops, they're bugging.
This is all happening at the same time that 4 million new college graduates are entering the job market, or that many businesses are kind of hesitant on the hiring process or many of the things in which they're operating because there's a high likelihood that a recession is just right around the corner. Or despite the Federal Reserve's dual mandate, they're kind of being incentivized to have the labor market cool off so that they can lower rates during an election cycle. But with all of that being said, this is really why I believe it feels so difficult to be able to get a job right now. I guess just with everything, seeing how like inverse everything is really at the moment and how everything is just balling up into this little pile of chaos that is the job market, I guess the only thing that I just ask is just please don't tie your worth to whatever the economy is stating. You can provide so much more than what is being reciprocated in the labor market. This was a heck of a video. I hope that it was able to provide some sort of value to you guys.
Great video. Great video. Great video. Damon Cassidy. Good shit. Very good shit.